And in the summertime, you want that nice, shiny Mercedes-Benz, that nice, shiny sports car when you got that.
That's a good start.
Yeah. You want to start there. I know you got a Benz. I know how the receivers like to get down. They like to drive those sports cars and do their thing. And that's what you get with the Rams. You're talking about 3 receivers that can go for over 100 yards. They're fast. They're speedy. I think when Todd Gurley gets healthy, if he ever gets healthy, he'll help to contribute just a little bit there. Sean McVay, young coordinator that's throwing the ball all over the place. Looks good, especially during the regular season.
But what do you want in the winter?
In the wintertime, I want that pickup truck. I want that truck that's going to say, reliable. Every time I turn you on, I start you up, the heat's going to come on. And if it's snowing, I'm going to put you in 4-wheel drive, and I'm going to drive. Russell Wilson is reliable. That Seattle offense and defense is reliable. You can depend on them. You know what you're going to get. You know exactly how things are going to go. And if you go to Seattle and have to play, you understand that 12th man up there, that's going to be effective. You know that defense is going to get after you with the addition of Clowney. But you also know, more importantly, Russell Wilson is not going to throw the ball to the other team. He's not going to turn it over. They're going to depend on that run game just a bit. He's going to get the ball to the targets that he has on time. That's what you want out of, especially in crunch time, November, December, and January. You want reliable Russ. So to me, as I look at this thing, you get that shiny new toy during the season, that's the Seahawks, that's the Rams. But you want in December and January that reliable pickup truck, that's Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, you've owned a lot of cars. I've owned a lot of cars. Every once in a while, you got to watch out for Range Rover because they got some lemons.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
I mean, they look good and everything, but something typically, like mechanically.
Maintenance is high.
Oh, it's absolutely.
Parts are high,
but they have some,
high.
every once in a while, it'll be driving nice, and all of a sudden, there's a problem. Let's be real, man. You and I have a lot of good conversations off the air. Todd Gurley got his money, so it ain't our job to protect him. What's going on with that knee, bruh? Because they ain't telling us the truth.
Well, I'll tell you this. So I tore my ACL in '96. So I played my entire college and NFL with a degenerative knee. So it got worse little by little every single year. And towards the end of my career, I stopped practicing on Wednesdays. I practiced limited on Thursday, and I went all out on Friday, which was a half day, which was kind of halfway.
Brian, how many times did you lie to people like myself and Jenna who came to talk to you? Hey, man, we're looking at the film. How many times did you just look in our face and just lie? Every
week, because here's the deal. I want you guys to feel like I'm going to be 100%. And what you're seeing right now for Todd Gurley is that he's not 100%. Look back to 2018. It's 2 different things. This year, he's only seen 8 men in the box 6% of the time. And 8 men in the box is a run-stopping defense. He's only seen that 6% of the time, and he's still not successful. Here's the deal. I think the offensive line needs to play much better. I don't think Gurley is completely healthy. Last year, he was getting contact. His first contact was 2.5 yards down the field. That's a good thing. This year is 1.7. So, truthfully, the offensive line is not getting up to that second level. They're allowing guys into the backfield. He has to do a better job running the football, but the offensive line has to do a much better job. He has to get healthy. I'm not sure that he can get healthier as the season progresses. Unfortunately, it's hard to do that.
Well, so let me address this from both teams. Let me start with the Rams. Because the question is, what are the Rams without Todd Gurley? What is any team without their best player? Like, so let's make us the Rams real quick. Chris, you're going to be Todd Gurley. You're going to be Brandon Cooks. We brought you in from the outside because you're an all-pro. Jenna, you can be Aaron Donald because you're the most talented and workout freak. I'll be Sean McVay for obvious reasons. And so, even with Cooks, Donald, McVay, what is this show without Chris? I think it'd still be good, but have to be very different. Yeah. Have to go through a reinvention. Have to do a lot of things, and you cannot do that on the fly. You have to go through probably a year of figuring out how are we replacing our best guy, and can we? The Rams trying to pretend they don't got to. The Rams trying to just plug someone else in there, even, we're going to call him Cris Carter, we're going to act like that.
Did it with OJ or C.J. Anderson. They were successfully able to do it, at least temporarily.
Briefly.
Short period of time.
Very short period
But they made it work.
With a better offensive line.
Okay, so
and
maybe
by the
that
way,
was the difference.
They also scored 3 points in the Super Bowl. They also needed the worst
call. But they
call.
got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, Todd Gurley got them through in the marathon, through the first 22 miles. You needed C.J. trying to get you across the finish line.
Yeah,
and you
little roly-poly got him there.
I mean, Todd Gurley, they essentially had locked up home field advantage before Todd Gurley started. They were 11-1 last year. They didn't have a lot of work to do, and they probably shouldn't have won the NFC Championship game. The offense was non-existent in the Super Bowl. So there's the concern about the Rams. What are you without your best guy? For Seattle, we have been tricked a little bit, I think, by how good quarterbacks have been in year 15 plus and how good quarterbacks have been immediately, to where we have forgotten when quarterbacks are supposed to be at their best. We see Brady win an MVP in year 18. We see Mahomes win an MVP in year 2. And we say guys can be great from the very beginning to the very end. Pro football players are supposed to peak, especially that position, around year 7, 8, 9. Your athleticism hasn't waned. You've seen enough. You have all the experience.
Yep.
This is year 8 for Russell Wilson, man. Russell Wilson has not all the answers to the test like Brady, but he got a cheat sheet now. His athleticism is as good as it's ever been. He's never been hurt. And so what we're seeing is the best version of Russell Wilson we've ever seen, to where he can offset that lack of talent. So do I think the Seahawks are the favorites? Absolutely. If I were John Schneider, would I be calling up Cincinnati and saying, hey, man, A.J. Green's on that expiring contract. He probably ain't going to stay with y'all. You guys are going to be terrible. Maybe you want to work something out? Sure. Because, of course, to me, for Seattle to be not just the divisional favorites, but the conference favorites, they do need more punch in their offense. But in the meantime, I know what Seattle's identity is. They never lost their best player because they still have Russell Wilson.
But when it comes to the Rams, you're right. They're not going to be able to change midway through the season. This is who they have, this is who they got, and this is who they're going to try to win with. Is it on Sean McVay to be able to do what he couldn't do in the Super Bowl against New England, which is try to adjust, which is we know what he's going to do, but can you figure out a way to change that and adjust midway through a game, midway through a season, to put your team in a great chance to win?
The tough adjustment is the player still wants to play. You only got 60 snaps. They got a third-round draft pick that he needs to play too.
And he might be better than Gurley right now.
And Jared Goff, I got to protect him. So I only got so much when I don't have good pass protection. I don't have a running game. There's only so many sexy routes that I can run. There's only so many times that I can just flat fool the defense. Sometimes you got to drop back 5 steps. He's got a curl. He's got a flat. One of the guys got a deep. And I got to pick a guy and let it fly and put it on him. And that's what they don't have in Jared Goff. I'm not here to try to just say bad things about Todd Gurley. I just think if you're in the football community and you're analyzing the Rams, you should analyze them with the thought he will never be what he was. That's the only truth that we can put on the situation. We can't keep saying, well, what if he gets healthy in December? This is not something that typically gets better.
You know what? Jared Goff, 68 passes last week, 3 interceptions and a fumble. That's not going to get it done. So they have to find a way, whether it's Malcolm Brown or a little bit of Todd Gurley. To me, for Todd Gurley only had 1 game over 15 carries, that's just not enough. If you're going to have to wear him down, let's find out right now if it's going to be too much, because in January, you're going to have to play 3 or 4 games, and you're going to have to win those games. We're going to need Todd Gurley. I know we want him to be healthy, but I want to find out right now, can he withstand that type of beating, or did that mean that we need to get Malcolm Brown ready? If we need to get the youngster ready, we're willing to do that, but we have to find out what we have in our horse. Gurley is that guy. He still has that ability. He's a slasher. It's just he can't do it as frequently because of that knee.
And Seattle, they are missing Doug Baldwin. But you can believe that Pete Carroll and John Snyder, general manager, if you want to find out where Antonio Brown might land, when he gets done taking them online classes, Seattle is the most likely landing spot for AB when he resurfaces. They had interest in him before he went to New England. They still need a wide receiver. Their locker room and their culture can handle it. Remember, they had Marshawn Lynch and all them Wild Boys. Yeah. They can handle it. So Russell might get some assistance as we go down the stretch, too.
All right. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.